On this video, I'm taking off the handlebar coming off from the fork because I need an access in the headset, because the one that you remember, if I install the one of the connector for the charger, which is the episode 1 and the episode 3, the AWWU111, I need to have an access from the handlebar going down so that I will have the all of the main hub and the battery as well. So to make this happen, I need to take off the handlebar and cables around there. So there's 4 cables, which is from the old system that I have, the R8020. So I'm taking off those 2, but the brake line, it will stay there because I need it later on when I put back and install the new one, the Shimano R8070, which is the DI2, but the brake line will be the same. And the other thing that I'll be doing with this is cut down the tube also, which I need to cut down like 4 millimeter and lessen the spacer, because right now I have 4 spacer in total, and make it a bit lower, which will go down to 2, but the other 2 is a bit bigger. One of the spacer is around 3 millimeter height and the other one is 1 millimeter, so it will be like a 4 millimeter in between the headset and the stem. Then as you see here, I'm taking off the wires, which need some push because it was stuck on close to the handlebar and it should come off on the stem. So I cut a little bit the video because it's a bit long, and this one is coming off already. The thing that I'm looking is I have to be careful because I might drop the fork on the floor and get some ding or some paint scuff. Then later on there'll be no more looking back because there's no touch-up paint for this one. And there you go, I took off already one of the cables and there is another. So I'm taking this all of the things that was installed there, and just to take off the fork. Then later on I will have an access totally to the mid part on the frame, and everything will be, of course, put back after. But for now, this is the hard part on doing some upgrade, because totally you will have to take off all the things that been installed there, and you have to put it back in each place after. The advantage of this one is that gray cable that you see there, I set it aside, and the color black cable is for the rear derailleur. The gray one is for the front derailleur. So I will be getting rid of these 2 cables, then the rest will be the brake cables to stay there. Then that will be less weight for the bike, and it will be more lighter. Then as you see here, there's still some connections on the this for the back brakes that I need to take it off. As you see later, once I take off everything there, it will just come off easily, because this is the one that was stopping the fork from coming off. and it takes more time to take out everything. As you see, this is the painful part on each of us as a mechanic, because taking it apart, it takes time, and of course, but it's part of the fun. So this is part of the headset cover, which will be taken off too, and another bearings for the top tube, which is that one, and there's another on the bottom. Now as you see, there's a bearing there that's showing also, so that will come off as well. And this has already been taken off, and everything is going well. So that's the bottom part of the fork bearings, so I have to set it aside. Then the one that was left is the rear brake cable. So this is the hydraulic. There's some like a leak there, and but not that much, because I already drained the mineral oil from the system, so it's not that much, but it's still some left over, but at least to lessen the contamination of the parts, so that won't be a problem. Now I'm cleaning this part, and at least it will be ready for installing the reinstalling the bearings later. Then before I will start with the installation of the route for the DI2. So there will be no changes on this cable here, and I will be just putting in the cables. So this is the tools that I'll be using. It's the make by part tools. I call this fish rod, because this one will give you less time and less frustration if you don't have any lines on the inside your frame, and this will help a lot on installing all the parts. As you see, I'm just pulling it out, so that's the cable from the DI2. You'll just have to put it on the cables, and it can easily be pulled out after. Then less frustration, less time, and more important is the cable is there for you to help. This is the best tools that I use, especially right now with the internal routing cables. Mostly the bike have, especially the models starting, I think, around 2017 when they started this disc brakes. So the next one here is I'm putting the crankset on the bottom bracket, and will be installed with both sides of the crank arm. So they need some adjustment on the front trailer first, so that the crankset will go in easily. And on the other side, I'll be putting the left crank arm to balance those two, and making sure that it is well centered. And this need to turn easily, because right now, as you see on my previous videos, the bottom bracket is BB90. So the torquing recommendation is 14 Nm, but I'll go lower than that, like -1. So I'll be doing 13 Nm torque. So there's two screw bolt there to tighten. Make sure that both of them are equal. Don't tighten from one side to the don't tighten totally tighten the one side, then go on the other side after. You should like tightening it slowly, one side from the other, just to make sure that everything will be even. Because if you tighten one side, then you follow on the other side, will be crooked after, or it will like ruin the screw. So this thing is important, because the torquing is one of the recommended also by the manufacturer, and you just have to make sure. So both of the volts were equally torqued to 13 nm, and this will be ready for use. As you see, the turning radius is perfectly going without any uh, things that might be stopping on the side of the crank arm. That's the one I'm checking there. It might hit the frame or somewhere, but so far as I see is nothing wrong with the installation. So now I'm putting down the front derailleur. That's it for now. Make sure to subscribe and follow my channel. And of course, if you like this video, please press the thumbs up button. And also, if you have some questions, comment below.